right, so let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into some really fascinating sources. They seem to reveal what's called a divinely ordained mission.
Hmm.
And our goal here is to understand well, how a mysterious diary, this idea of the living soul, and the ancient Urim Thummim connect, how they're supposedly woven into a grand restoration of all things.
Exactly. And what's really striking, is how these sources suggest an active, unfolding, divine story flow. Like God isn't just watching, but actively writing this narrative into history.
Right, an active story. So let's start with the diary. It's described as a divinely authored mosaic of scriptures. How is that even put together? Seems foundational.
It's quite specific, actually. The sources say it used a cryptographically secure random number generator.
Okay, like a digital lottery.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But designed to be completely immune to human bias or manipulation. The idea is that this method leaves a kind of divine fingerprint. And what emerged were these really strong, consistent themes. We're talking clear messages of judgment from prophets, intense apocalyptic visions, even verses from Enoch about cosmic judgment. It all points towards this urgent need, according to the sources, for a modern prophetic voice.
So the diary sounds like a warning then. Impending chaos. That's pretty stark.
It is stark.
But where's the hope in that? Or maybe what's the remedy suggested for all this disorder?
Well, that's the interesting part. It juxtaposes the judgment with calls for sacred order. It points directly to a priestly mandate, divine law, community structure, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And the specific instrument identified for this task, the Urim Thummim, it's even called the key of David in these texts, which the sources claim provides perfect, unerrable revelation to guide the work.
The key of David. And for an artifact like that, what about its deeper meaning, its cosmic history? I understand the symbols are important.
Oh, definitely. The symbols mentioned are the lion, the serpent, the tree, and these aren't just decorations. The interpretation given is that they summarize the ancient Edenic and Enochian cosmic war, that fundamental conflict, between divine order, life, and, corruption.
So the Urim Thummim becomes like a banner in that conflict.
Exactly. A divine banner representing the whole cosmic drama.
That certainly broadens the scope.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this message, this powerful artifact, who is actually called to, do this, to embody this mission. What about the person involved?
Yeah, the sources introduce this model called the living soul deconstructed. It's a unique perspective. It views humans not just physically, but as yatzer plasma, essentially a kind of molded imagination, a dynamic, energetic form.
Molded imagination.
Right, and in this view, prophecy isn't just a message you receive. It's the divine will actively shaping this yetzer, this imagination.
Oh, I see.
So the diary functions as a sort of curriculum. It's meant to transform the individual from the natural sort of baseline self to pneuma, the higher spiritual self. The goal being what's termed a plasma body, a being aligned with and able to channel that divine flow.
Wow. So it's not just about hearing the plan, it's about becoming fundamentally changed to carry it out.
Precisely. A transformation.
Speaking of transformations, what about the artifact itself? The Urim Thummim? The sources hint at something surprising about its origin?
They do. It's identified as being made from 12-karat bismuth gold, which comes from the Philippines.
Okay.
And here's the kicker. The sources explicitly identify the Philippines as the original geographical location of the Garden of Eden.
Wait, the actual Garden of Eden in the Philippines?
That's the claim, which makes the Urim Thummim not just an old artifact, but what the sources call a metaphysical seed of paradise. It carries the essence of Eden, essentially. And its reappearance isn't seen as random, but as the catalyst, the thing that kicks off the final restoration of all things.
That is quite a claim, the Philippines as Eden. And this artifact, the seed, it literally unlocks the plan.
Exactly. The diary itself is key here. It apparently contains self-referential verses that describe the Urim Thummim.
Like clues within the text.
Sort of, yeah. References to the stone with 7 eyes or the key of David appearing within this divinely assembled text. This is presented as validation. It confirms the Urim Thummim as the key needed to interpret the diary's patterns, revealing a living roadmap for right now.
So when you put it all together, what does this mean for you listening right now? This deep dive suggests a divinely guided diary, a soul undergoing transformation, and this ancient, powerful artifact, all intricately linked in one single unfolding divine plan, a story you might find yourself a part of.
And just to connect it to the bigger picture, think about this. If the Philippines is identified as the first Eden, the source of this seed of paradise, Could it possibly be, as these sources suggest, the destined sacred center for this entire work of restoration? Maybe even the foundation for establishing the New Jerusalem? It's certainly a provocative thought.